Hey guys, what's up? This is Liquid Raven. I wanted to talk to you about how I got into the stock market. And, I kind of wanted to make a video about something else right now because it's just crazy insane. It's January 26th, around, what's the time right now? Time is 4:30 p.m. And just recently, GameStop stocks have just been crazy. Just looking at it and looking at Reddit. Oh my God, it's just so funny. Wall Street, Wall Street bets. It's just funny reading all that. It's made me cry because it's just hilarious. And Elon Musk is like just made a tweet, a simple tweet, game stocks, and the stock just soars again, double of the top of where it hit like yesterday, I believe it was, or the day before. Oh my God. It is just crazy and it is just fun to watch. And no, I don't have any GameStop stonks right now, but I wish I did. I mean, it's just something else. It's something else, definitely. But that's not really what I want to talk about right now. Maybe down the road I'll make a video about it, but I really wanted to make a video about how I got into stocks. The first time I knew about stocks, I got introduced, was like a long time ago, when I was in high school, and I graduated '99, so that was a while ago. I'm a pretty old guy, but regardless, it was just econ. It was an econ class, and basically, I remember vividly, like I was fucking around. And I was doing something stupid, like I was a kid, and I was like, I don't know, I was talking to someone in class or something, and then or drawing, I forget, but I was just distracted, and he called on me, or he said he was giving some kind of speech. He was like, who would do good in the stock market? Is like that guy right there. He was pointing at me. I'm like, look at him. I'm like, okay. Well, I thought about it at that time. I was like, well, I can't do anything. I mean, I don't have money. I really don't. I think I was a paper boy at the time, I think. So my job was like not not that great, and I couldn't really say to do anything. And I didn't know. Even though he was, I guess, explaining the whole thing, I didn't know too much about the whole thing. Um, and right afterwards, I mean, that wasn't my ambition anyways, like, being in the stock market. I had other goals and other ambitions. I mean, I wanted to be an artist. I loved playing games like all my life, and I had a talent for drawing. So I wanted to, go into art school to become, an artist for video games, doing, you know, graphics, make characters or environments or something like that. So I went, or straight out of high school, into an art school. After that, I graduated, and then I was having a hard time finding a job. I found something that didn't pay, but I was doing artwork for them, and then while I was doing that just on the side, I found another place in Ireland, of all places, and I wasn't afraid of traveling. Um, so I mean, especially for doing something in my passion, what I'm passionate about. So I was like, hey, what the hell? This is something, and they're paying me. So I went over to Ireland and started doing artwork for like an internet company, but that did not pan out. I stayed in Ireland for about 2 years, but yeah, that's another story. We can pass that up. But after that, I came back to the States, and it still sucked. I couldn't find a job, and it was hard. I was like, well, maybe I felt like I needed more education. Like I didn't feel like I had enough. So, and I was in student loan debt, and I decided to go into school again. And this time I went to Digipen, and Digipen was like so much better than the Art Institute. I mean, like so much, like 100, 200 times better than the Art Institute. When I graduated there, which was around the year 2010, that I graduated 2010, and it was really hard to find a job like anywhere. Like it was really hard to find a job. Period. I think I got kind of like an internship sort of thing, that they weren't paying me like the same sort of thing again. It's like something to do, but I wasn't getting paid, and they were basically waiting for funding. And you know, I was running out of money. I ran out of money, so I'm like, you know, I can't work for you guys anymore. I have to go. And so I left Washington, was where Japan is, and I went back home, and I basically had to live with my parents because I had no income, no nothing. It was hard to find a job, and on top of that, I had student loan debt. And I needed to find something. It was really hard to find a job at that time, and I was just so in debt. And then I found like a simple job. I worked at a call center. I was doing that for like a year or two, and it was horrible. That place is horrible. I just be nice. Just out of experience, be nice to people when you call people up, and you're, you know, in some kind of call center. Just be nice, and please, because, you know, they don't have it all that great, to be honest. They're not getting paid that well, and on top of that, they probably have their bosses hounding them for some stupid shit. So please be nice to them. Right after that place, I went to a casino, so where I'm currently working still for so many years. I think I've been there for 8 years now. So I've been working at a casino as a technician. During that time, I was paying off my loans, but at the same time, the loans were getting to be too much for me, just too much for me to handle. Just getting hit with loans from left and from right, and it was just way too much for me, and I needed some kind of way out, because like everything that I made at my job was going into my loans, my student loans, and I couldn't do anything. I ended up doing something though, and that's also another video. In a few words, I lawyered up. So I lawyered up. I consolidated all of my federal loans and all the loans that I made from banks. My lawyers helped me out with, and basically I'm all done with those. I think there's like one more loan, but I mean, I'm not getting bugged about it. Actually, just I'd say about a year ago, my lawyers were like, oh, so are you getting any more problems from this loan? And I'm like, no. I was like, well, we're done, and that's it. I mean, doing that was like a savior within itself. I felt so much better, like a big weight was lifted off my back when I went with the lawyers. After all that was done, I was finally like able to save some money, and I noticed it. Like I was like saving some money, and I'm like, you know, what am I gonna do with this? So you know, at first I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna treat myself, you know. I wasn't able to treat myself to anything, so I bought myself stuff. Of course, it's like with people when you know, you don't have much money, and then you finally find money and you have money, like you want to treat yourself to some of the nicer things in life. Some of the nicer things in life, but this wasn't the thing that I got. So I got I think the first thing was the phone, Apple phone, and an Apple Watch, because I was really eyeing their stuff. So I got that, and I was super happy that I did it. I was like finally able to save some money and be able to just spend it on whatever I wanted, stuff that I wanted. And you know, before I couldn't do that. I felt like, you know, I was handcuffed to the floor, and I couldn't do anything, just like sit there and just stand by while people can beat me with whips and stuff. I mean, that's basically how I felt being in debt. And you know, I made some money, and as soon as I made the money, someone beat me with a whip and grabbed the money from my hand, and I'm like, oh man, what can I do about this? I felt so trapped, and I couldn't do anything. I felt really trapped. And after a little while, I accumulated like some money. I mean, because I was used to giving my money to the student loan people. So now I'm accumulating this money, and I have nowhere. It's not going anywhere. I'm not giving it to anybody. So I'm just piling on this money. And at first, like, oh, I have this money. I'll spend it on something. And I did. And then, like, after a while, I was like, well, I really don't need much. I mean, am I going to keep buying stuff? I just don't really need it. I don't care for it. Actually, this was the last thing I really spent a lot on, because I really wanted a computer, and I really needed it. Well, I didn't need an upgrade, but I wanted it. And this is an artwork. This is my artwork. This is my expression of me. If I was a PC, if I was a computer, this would be it right here. This is me in a nutshell. So anyways, I was accumulating this money, and I was, of course, like, this was my project, and I was putting money into this. And then after I was done with this, I was like, or during the middle of making this, I was like, you know what, I really need to save this money. I need to have something for my future. I don't want to work, the rest of my life. I really don't want to work the rest of my life. So I wanted to save. And I really didn't know too much about saving or how to save. So I wanted to, I watched some YouTube videos. I watched a couple of different people, and what they say. And then I formed my own opinion, and I was like, well, I want to try different things. I feel personally that I should not have my money in one spot, and because if that one thing fails, then you fail. So I want to try different things. At the time, and still I have a bank, and I put my money in a bank. I had a savings loan and a checking account, and the savings wasn't doing anything. I mean, if anything, the savings hurt me, because if you go under 1,000, then they charge you with a fee, and that sucked. So I always kept it at 1,000 or over 1,000, but it didn't do anything. It just sat there. And the same thing with my checking account. If I ever went under, I forget exactly how much it was, but if I went under a certain amount or overdrafted, which happened once or twice before in the past, I get a fee, which sucked. And I just thought that's how it was. I thought that's how life was. Just make sure you have enough money in your bank, and there's nothing better than that. I mean, this my mentality at the time. And then I'm like, what, I need to save money. So then I started doing research, and I started looking into different things to do with my money. And I ended up wanting to do 3 different things. Since I was big with the phone, the Apple phone and the watch, I got an email from Apple saying that, hey, try our new card, which here it is, the Apple card, the middle one. So I got the Apple card, and with the Apple card, I think it's a 2 or 3%. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever you get with it, it's like a credit card. Whatever you get with it, 2 or 3% of it will go into like a savings, it's like an overdraft thing, but it's like an Apple Money, whatever it is. It's kind of like a separate thing, but you can use it to buy whatever you want, basically. So I thought, I was like, oh, that's a good thing to save. My current bank sort of has something like that. So it's like whatever I went to the store and I bought, and like all the change, the cents went over to my savings, and then that's how that happened. So that's how I maintained my savings. And for a while, I was like, so I'm not going to touch my savings. I'm going to let all the change go over there and just accumulate. And that's like one way of saving. And then I have my Apple card, and that's another way of saving. So, and then I wanted to try stocks. I wanted to, Robinhood was out, people were talking about it, so I was like, okay, I'll try Robinhood. And my plan was like, okay, I don't want to just do stocks. I don't want to put my money in there and just leave it in there. I want to be aggressive with it. I mean, because I was able to pay money to my student loans like aggressively once a month sort of thing. And like, there was a time where I was paying like $700 plus a month for my student loans, and that was hurtful, man. Every month, like $700, 800 bucks. It was horrible, dude. Um, but now I had that money, like I just had that money, and so I wanted to do the same thing with with the stocks with Robinhood. So my plan was like every paycheck that I got, I'm going to put $500 inside the stock market. No, no ifs, no ands or buts. That's 100%. No matter what, put in that money, and that was my dedication. That was my goal, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's what the thought that I had. But at first, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put in 500, and then next month I'll put in 500, and then I'll see what, because I was a newbie to the stocks, so I was just gonna put in a small amount, which $1,000 is not really a small amount to me, but I mean, but it's like I wanted to save. I wanted to see how it reacted and how it did, and I gained a little bit. I gained some money. I'm like, well, this can like become something, like, because I gained like I don't know, like a couple of dollars or something like that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I did gain, and then it was like, well, this. I thought about it, I was like, well, this can be something. Like, I can like, if I leave money in there and it accumulates like this, can I just like live off of this? Like, I'd never heard about independently wealthy, like just living off stocks. I've never heard anything like that, and it's just like I was thinking about it. I was like, don't people do this? Do people do this? So I looked online, and yeah, there's people that do this, and normally what I hear a lot online is, if you have like $1 million in the stock market, you can pretty much do this. But I think, like, if you're frugal like me, you can do it with half that, even less than half that. But my goal, regardless, is to get to 1 million, and then, just live off that money. That's my goal. And way number 3 was I started what should we call it, 401k with work. So my work does 6%. Yeah, 6%. So 6% of my paycheck, I'll put in a Roth. So I do 6% on the Roth, and I started doing that. I just didn't think about it. I just put it in there, and it was like, oh, whatever, and my job will match that. So say 6% of my income is around $100, and I put in $100 into that account. My job will give me $100. They match it, so now there's $200 in that retirement fund. So it's my $100 and my work's $100 together for my retirement, and it goes into, basically, it also goes into the stocks and bonds with Vanguard. It's with Vanguard. That was 3 ways: my card, the 401k, and I'm gonna do investing myself. So after I saw that, hey, this can become something, like I started investing in different things. Like from the past, I remember my teachers saying, you should invest in different things. You should invest in things that you like. That's just a good way to get into the stock market. And knowing what I know today, that is complete bullshit, and that's stupid. You should never really do that. If you want your money to do something for you, you shouldn't really do that. But I invested in a lot of different things. I invested in, I was a big fan of Nintendo. I invested in Nintendo. A big fan of Microsoft. I invested in Microsoft. A big fan of Activision. Well, not Activision, Blizzard. It's Activision Blizzard. I was a big fan of Blizzard, so I invested in Blizzard. I invested in Bank of America. I've invested in a little bit NVIDIA, and a lot of AMD. This is and I also invested in Intel. So this is Intel. This is not AMD. This is not a Ryzen. This is funny. At the time I was building this computer, which is Intel, and I didn't have that much stock in Intel. Like, and I knew that in my head. I was like, Intel is actually, at the time, I think Intel is pretty high, or it was like around double of what AMD was, but I knew that, like, I knew. And at the time, like, AMD was, like, it was coming up. It was like their Ryzen was like coming up. So I was like, I knew that in my head. I was like, well, right now for gamers, for what I want, Intel's what I want. And I've always been with Intel. And in the past, actually, I think I had a computer with AMD, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how it worked. So from that computer on, after that computer, I started with Intel, and I always loved Intel. So that's why this is an Intel PC. But I knew that AMD's stock, I knew they were coming up. I knew they were doing a lot of good things. So I put a lot of stock into them, and they actually grew a lot. So that's another one that I got. Actually, I think all these stocks that I've mentioned, like, they all grew, like, slightly. So, it can't be all that bad, like diversifying. I mean, if you believe in certain things and you know that they're going to go up, then it's not that bad to diversify. But in the end, if you know that something is going to blow everything else out of the water and it's going to change the world, and it's undervalued, yes, I'm talking about Tesla, then why not put all you have into it? And that's kind of what I did. And I started off slow. I'll show you, like, I guess I'll put it on the side, but when Tesla was starting to go up, like at the beginning of last year, I believe it was starting to go up, and then starting to go up, and then the pandemic moved from China to the US, and then it was still fine, it was still going up, and then all of a sudden dip, and then dip, and then like I was like, even my money and like all those other companies was going down. Like I kind of freaked out. I did. So on the, think there was like 2 small dips, and then on that second small dip, I pretty much pulled all of my money out. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's just a pandemic. What is everybody freaking about? All you have to do is wear a face mask and you should be fine. Stop freaking out. So that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, what the fuck is going on with the stock market? And then it just dipped again. And then, like, it dipped at that very peak that I was at that very bottom. I was like, damn, this is horrible. But I thought in my mind, I was like, you know what? I'm all in. Whatever. I don't care. And at the time, also when Tesla was going up, I wanted to buy shares of Tesla, but I was like, no, Tesla's pretty expensive. It was like 200 or 300. I was like, oh, it's kind of expensive. I can't really afford too much if I buy one. It's gonna be like my whole paycheck, or like my whole, like I'm investing 500 every paycheck. I was like, oh, I only can buy one. I can only buy 1.5. And I don't really want to buy halves. I just want to buy one. So I'll buy one maybe, but then everything dipped. So what that did is that I was able to get all my money out of everything. And then I was lucky enough that I was at the very bottom where I had the realization. It's like, you know what? I don't care. This is for my future. This is what I'm going to do. And if this money goes in the trash, then oh well. So that ended in me putting in, I think I only put in like 2, only buying 2 shares of Tesla, and everything else I kind of put my money, I didn't spread it. So at first I was spread out. I forget how many companies I invested in, but it was like 15 different companies. But I got all my money, and then I was able to dish it out to where I wanted. So Microsoft did very well for me, so I put a lot of my money back into Microsoft. I always wanted Tesla, so I put 2 shares in Tesla, and then at the time I didn't have like so much money, but I did sort of like put money back into the stuff that I kind of felt like, you know, was doing that did great for me in the past, and it's like, well, you know what, it's gonna keep doing good, so I'm just gonna put it on there. So then the next day, shot right back up. I'm like, great, my money's coming back, and plus I dodged like the second big dip on the way down too, so that was a plus. So I was like, okay, great. So I started going up, and then at the time I started doing research on Tesla, and yes, I knew about Tesla, I knew about SpaceX, and I knew about Elon Musk, of course. So I knew about what he was doing and what he did, you know, for everything. So I was just doing more research, and something on YouTube just popped up, and I'm like, I saw somebody on about stocks about Tesla, and they were saying like they were giving out numbers like their predictions of what's gonna happen, and the reasons why, like really reliable numbers too, and like I just saw them, I was like, wait, this makes sense. Like, yeah, this is what's going on. Like, and I looked at, you know, that I just started doing research. I was like, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Maybe I should just buy some more Tesla, because yeah, I feel this guy's right. I feel this is gonna go up. And then slowly I bought more stock of Tesla, to where the point was like, that's really the only thing I was buying. And then I think it went up, or it was going to split. Actually, it was going up, and then the stock was going to split. And I think at the time I had about six or 7 shares. I'm not completely sure, but the way I saw it is like Tesla's going up. I think at the time it was like around $400 or $500, and the way I saw it and what I was watching online, like I felt that the stock was going to split, so it's not gonna dilute the share price or anything. It's just gonna split so people can buy it. That's what my thought about it was. So I felt like, okay, so it's at 500 right now, or 400 or 500, and it's gonna split. So it's gonna split, and it's gonna be divided by 5. So then if you divide 500 by 5, then it's only gonna be 100. So the price is 100, and I felt like, you know what, people are just like, so now that it's at 100, people are able to buy it, and it's just gonna keep going up, and it's gonna go back up to 500. That's just my mentality, and why I decided to just like buy before the split. So I was buying, and I bought before the split. By the way, I've never sold a single share of Tesla since I bought it. So since I bought it, I've never sold a single share of Tesla. So then it splits, and I forget what I was doing. I wasn't watching the news or something. And I knew it was gonna split, and it split, and right after it split, it just like dipped like crazy, and then it went up. And then like I didn't see it. Like I didn't see the stock when it dipped so low. Like I was busy. I forget exactly what I was doing, but it dipped pretty low, and then personally, if I saw it dip that low, it would have probably freaked out of me. But then it came back up, and I think that's when I looked at the stock market again, and I looked at myself like, oh shit, where does the dip come from? But it like recovered, and like when I saw it, it was like back up, and I was like, holy shit, what's going on? But I was like, I still felt really confident about Tesla and what's going on. So then of course it does this sort of zigzag sort of thing, and then it kind of mellows out, and then the announcement of the S&P, and this whole time I'm still adding in, and then I think before then, or right before the S&P, I've been watching YouTubes about Tesla. I'm like, there's like actually several people that are just like going all in on Tesla, and they give their reasons, and they show their numbers and why and where this is gonna be, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and like I'm seeing it, and then I'm like, even Kathy Wood is like saying this. She's became popular after the first bump up, and like I'm starting to see this stuff, and I'm seeing everybody, like, on YouTube. Of course, there's like the bears, which is the people that are saying that it's not going to be that, and like their reasoning is just like not there. I'm like, why do they think that? And it's like, oh, they're just like uneducated, or I have no idea why they feel that way. They're just like not open-minded. I have no idea, but they just don't see it. Like, this, it's like obvious. It's like, it's right in front of you. How do you not see it? How do you not join in? So at that time, I started to notice people were just all inning. So that's what I did. I pulled my money off of everything else. I pulled it off of Microsoft. I pulled it off of Starbucks. I pulled it off of Nintendo. I was like, I'm a real big fan of Nintendo. I was like, when I invested in Nintendo, I was like, okay, these are gonna be in here. These stocks, they're not gonna move because I'm a big fan. I don't care if it dips down to zero. They're gonna be in here for life, man. But that's not how it was. I just pulled it out. Like, you know what? That's not. I mean, that's cool and all, bro. But in the end, you're here to be financially independent. So get your money out there. Get your money out there and put it in Tesla. So that's what I did. And then S&P, like, out of nowhere. So S&P, what are we gonna do? We're gonna include you, Tesla. So I'm like, oh shit, they're including Tesla, and everybody gets crazy with this. As soon as they, like, the very same day, I guess, that it got announced, boom, like 2 big jumps up, and I just like holy shit. And then I had so much money off of that, like, holy shit, this is crazy. What's going on? Of course, none of this is compared to what's happening with GameStop right now, but that's a different story. GameStop is just crazy right now, but that is a different story, and that's a whole lot more riskier. and bravo to you guys. I mean, I'm a gamer, dude. I'm a gamer. Hey, I'm happy that GameStop, I mean, if this never happened, GameStop would have been like a forgotten memory, like Blockbuster. Who the hell is Blockbuster? No one fucking knows anymore. But I'm glad that this happened to GameStop, of all places, or of all companies, because I mean, hey, I'm a gamer, and like I'm glad this is happening. So their name is gonna stick around, at least for years to come, and it's gonna be there. And I'm happy that that's gonna happen to GameStop. Regardless, back to the point. So, it's just Tesla happened to me, basically. And recently, I had a goal to reach a certain amount of Tesla shares, and I've reached that goal. And I think, like, it's been 2 weeks since I've reached that goal, and I've decided to. Okay, so now all the money that I get now is going to go into other stocks to, I guess, sort of diversify, but stocks that I feel that also have a chance to make it big as well, which I've been having good luck with, even since the very start, to be honest. But this time, the thing that's different, like, I mean, I still don't have shares in Nintendo, even though I'm a big Nintendo fan. Still don't have shares in Blizzard. Still don't have anything in Starbucks, even though Starbucks is, I don't know, if someone knows why Starbucks is doing so good, please let me know. But I remember when Starbucks was like at $30 when I first got it or something, and it kind of dipped, and I'm like, you know what, Starbucks sucks, I'm out. And then as soon as I'm out, it goes up like double. I'm like, what are you doing to me, Starbucks? And then, to teach myself a lesson, I bought at a high price, but that ended up being good, because it kept going up after that. I'm like, Starbucks, you are some weird person. You're some weird animal here. I can't understand you. I don't understand you. That's basically it. I have a lot to say about this whole subject, and I kind of want to break it down. I have different videos planned, and I'm going to, but this video was just about me introducing you guys, I guess, to investing, because this is how I got introduced into investing. And it was like, I wish, to be honest, knowing what I know now, I wish I got into it earlier. But at the same time, you know, there's no opportunity like now, because now we have stuff like Robinhood, SoFi. Like, I just recently got into SoFi, so I'm gonna try to actually I'm gonna post some links on below my SoFi referrals. So if you can invest in SoFi, you can. I mean, this is also something I'm investing in. I'm investing in SoFi because I kind of like that app, and I think maybe down the road I might move all of my Robinhood assets to SoFi, but we'll see how SoFi does. But I have good faith in SoFi. What else I want to say? That's basically it for now. I think anything else I will add in another video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Of course, I'm going to keep trying to do this every week. One video a week. I'm going to hope for that. I don't know if this one's going to come out this week, or maybe a little bit later. I'm going to edit it for sure a little bit tonight, and hopefully I get done. If I don't, I might work on it tomorrow after work. That's about it. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you keep watching. See you around.